Hello, hello. Good afternoon, very good evening for most of you. Very late on to our usual lives today. I hope you are all doing well, though, either way. Obviously, we'll be having a later start today with this live so we can get into the Brazil-Morocco game. I can't 100% promise I will be here for the whole game, but we'll try. We will try. I did do a video earlier just in case. Let me just make sure my scoreboard is working. Yep, it's working. Sweet. All right, so we've got that. But good to see you all here. Huge World Cup game today. So I wanted to hang out a bit while we watch some of that, as well as beforehand talk a little bit of United news as well, just for a few minutes in the lead up to kickoff. And I've got World Cup fever, man. I'm excited now. I'm all caught up, and they got me roped in because, of course, as an American, I don't know if any of you have watched the game besides the highlights for those, non-Americans from last night, but holy shit, was one of the best international performances. It is the best international performance top to bottom I've seen from a US team. And that's not being hyperbolic or anything. It was crazy how good they played, and really exciting stuff. So I'm all juiced. My favorite coach, Pochettino, has United States looking really good. And it's got me very sucked in at the moment. Dangerous hope. But first, let's talk about Mateus Fernandes and the situation that we've got here. Look, I'm only being honest in discussing this situation here, okay? And then we'll talk a little bit about US, and we'll get into the Morocco, Brazil, and all of that. I did describe it this morning in the video that I put out. Well, not this morning for a lot of you, but about 4 or 5 hours ago, the video I put out. I did talk about the situation around Mateus Fernandes and West Ham. And there has been a change. And people do have to understand it, okay? They do have to understand that this change does matter. I know people want to cope a bit and deny it and say it doesn't, and get all agitated about some of the West Ham sources that are now pushing back hard on this. But listen, the ownership situation around West Ham has changed things a little bit. Does it mean that we're not going to get... I just want to preface this. It doesn't mean we're not going to get Mateus. It doesn't mean we're not going to get anything. It doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. However, what it does mean is that, it could be just a bit more difficult in that respect in order to... one sec, guys. It does mean it's going to be a little bit more difficult, in terms of this idea that we can force through a purchase of West Ham. And I promise you, don't sit there and say it doesn't change anything, please. Just think beforehand, because I think people want to jump to that without thinking the whole thing through. And I want to explain exactly why. It is absolutely correct that a change in ownership does not actually change the amounts, okay? A change in ownership does not actually change, whether a club has a financial situation or any of that. It doesn't. None of that actually matters. But owner investment does matter in the standpoint of what difficulties West Ham are going through at this point in time.
For the Dupsy when is Corf.
Thank you, Glenn. I don't know what the last few words were there, but you can type it again. And again, this doesn't mean we're not going to get a deal done. It doesn't mean we're not going to make things happen. It doesn't mean we're not likely going to get it.
Is Mark Goldbridge the Man United YouTuber version of Alexi Lalas? Also, imagine if United went with Poch over ETH.
It would have been, who knows, man? Mistakes were made back in the day. Alexi Lalas being the version. That is funny. No, but look, the owner can put in £90 million in order to offset PSR losses and things like that. That's what they can put in directly. With secured funding, they can even put in more. And it really depends on the cash and the financial situation around the club. It's important to note that with West Ham, this new owner, Kretinsky, he's not new. He's been a minority owner, 27% for some time. He put money in 4 years ago and helped them in terms of a financial situation. He didn't put any money in over the last 3 or 4 years. West Ham, he could put in a very significant amount of money towards West Ham's financial situation. And so the desperation that may have been there is heavily likely to ease. And it's not just me saying this. We'll see what they actually do here, but this comes to us very specifically. Oh, let me get the thing on the screen here. But essentially, within today, he has agreed a deal to take over as the larger stakeholder in the club, the largest, gone from 27 to 43%, exceeding Sullivan's 38.8%, and all of that. Okay. And he says shareholders and directors, our focus is firmly on protecting, he's taken over, etc. Would make 1890 Holdings part of the broader Group EP, the largest shareholder. As the largest shareholder, Group EP will be able to provide the additional financing the club needs. It describes some of it even further. And it says, given his personal wealth, he also owns a significant stake in supermarket chain Sainsbury's. He has the funds to inject into West Ham if needed, and together with gold is determined to return the club to the top flight as soon as possible. You have to just bear in mind that they do have the ability to put money in. They do. They have the ability to put money in and relieve a lot of the financial difficulties that they have. The rules are complex on this, but I promise you that there is money that can be put in that does change the situation around, their whole financials, and they can relieve some of the pressure. Do they still need to sell, and are they still in trouble? Yes. Are we going to get Mateus Fernandes? Probably. I'm pretty confident that we will. But I think the idea that we can simply just force through a deal with complete abandon and lowball them, and they're going to have to accept it now is a fantasy, and we just have to understand that that's what it's going to take. There are sources that are, there are people around West Ham and all of that, and that have talked about this a bit and expect that they will hold out a little bit more. He's going to be sold. Don't worry about it. He's going to be sold. Sainsbury's is a declining supermarket. He's going to be sold, okay? He'll be sold. It's going to happen, but it is essentially going to, they're not going to bend and sell for 50 to 60 million. At the same time, the resolution of this situation has probably been something we've been needing to kind of wait for to figure things out. And again, I think that a lot of people are talking out of a pure assumption that they have to sell cheap, that it has to be done, that it has to be sold cheap, that it has to be done early, and that there's just too many assumptions going on, and I don't like to make assumptions with this stuff. That's what I see at this point in time, is just too many assumptions. They do have a little bit of relief. They do have a bit of relief from the situation now with this that will help them make things a little bit more difficult, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get a deal done. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to have to work on it. Let's see. This is why, as of yet, I'm just saying patience is required. We're going to have to see what happens when we put that first offer in, because right now there's too many assumptions about what it would take, what's going to happen, that they're going to have to do this. We don't know. We really don't.
On Alex Scott and Lewis Hall.
I'm optimistic on all the deals. To be honest, I think I'm fairly certain we're still going to get Mateus Fernandes, and I'm fairly certain we will be putting an offer in within the next few days, and I'm fairly certain that a deal will get worked out within the next couple of weeks. I'm fairly certain of that. So, look, guys, the PSR rules are not EFL rules. You got to understand that it is a mixture. Because it is a 3-year average, they're not going to judge them purely off of the championship rules. The violations that are there were pre-existing from multiple years in the Premier League losses. Otherwise, those losses wouldn't carry into the championship. It's not like suddenly they just fully get the championship rules. It is a mixture, and it is more complicated than people are making out. Okay? They have to raise money. Yes, they have to get more money coming in. But they can put owner funding in to change certain situations and address all of it. Okay, they can, and it will relieve some of the pressure, not all, but some of the pressure. They're still going to sell him because Mateus Fernandes wants out. Mendes is orchestrating a deal, and they still need to raise some of the money. So it's a mixture of championship rules, and because again, it's all over a 3-year period, and Premier League rules that they have to apply to. I'm not sure June 30th is a deadline. In a lot of instances, you're able to work out. Essentially, these things happen where they can always backdate their financials. It's more complicated than all of this. Look, there's nothing more bullshit than deadlines in accounting and finances. Just like April 15th is tax day, but then you can file a lot later, and you can do extensions, and you can do modifications, and all sorts of things can happen. And I just think it's just, let's let it be. We're going to get a deal done here. We're going to make offers. But I do think we're going to end up paying a high price. I think that we're going to have to take it near the 70 million mark to get something done. And I think it's a bit of an overpay for sure, but I also think we're going to have to, because Mateus Fernandes is now our primary biggest target, essentially, of the window. You know, he is. He's de facto our main signing. You know, at this point, this summer, you know, that's where he's at right now. So you know, so it's just, this is what it's gonna be, man. You could look, to be fair, saying I think 70 mil total. To be fair, it's not necessarily just United, you know. I mean, look, City bid 106 million pounds, 121 million total package for Elliot Anderson. It's been denied. Like, how crazy is that for a moment? Let's just bear in mind here that City bid 121 million pounds, Great British pounds, for their top target, and they have no deal. Like, how crazy is that? You know, so the market has gone a little bit nuts. The market's gone a little bit nuts. But if that's the price for Anderson, then 70 million total for Mateus, it's hard to say that isn't fair. You know what I mean? Like, when you adjust for market valuations, I think it's overpriced. I think it's all overpriced. Mateus Fernandes is a good player, but he's a young player, and there's a lot to learn. And I think we're not pricing him into it. But I will say this. It's not that bad of an overpay. We were willing to pay 75 million for Baleba last year. I think Mateus is probably better. He's better than Baleba right now, but he's very good. We were willing to pay 75 million for Baleba last year. Mateus is very good. Arsenal walked away. Yep, they've got other options they'll go to. But I think that's also because he doesn't necessarily want them. So, yeah, it's just, these are the situations we're going to have to deal with. And I all I'm getting at here is that I don't want to, you know, I don't want to pretend that it doesn't make it more difficult. The change in ownership for them does make it more difficult for us. The change in ownership for West Ham does help them, does help their financial situation. It does give them more of a backbone to resist what we're doing. But it doesn't mean we won't get a deal done. It doesn't mean we won't, that it's like, oh well, we're screwed or something. That's not it. And that's not what I'm trying to at all imply here. It's more the fact that it's just going to be, it just gives them a little bit more leverage than they had before. All right, I'm getting my screen ready for the Brazil versus Morocco game as well here, so that we can watch that together. Who are 6 options? Well, we're not really looking for one at this point. Again, we're definitely going down this overall route with regards to the this overall route with building a more overall kind of robust 3. Look, and again, I think it's an overpay, so I'm with you. Definitely an overpay on that front. But yeah. But we just kind of have to do it this summer, honestly. Like, if we want Prem-proven players, if I'm worried West Ham want more than... I'm worried about that too, and that's why I'm like, I'm being careful here, I just think that, we've seen this before where people get caught up and they go, oh, it's going to be easy. Oh, they're financially, they can't say no. They can. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't know what these guys can actually do. And I like to, these days, err on the side of caution and say, I don't want to just assume a deal is going to be super simple. A deal is going to get done so easily. I want to be sure about it. So I'm not being negative on the deal. We're going to get it done and we're going to get Mateus, but I think it will be more expensive and it could drag a little bit. It's a little more likely
they 3 next season or stick to a 10.
Well, there will be a 10. There will be a 10 in Bruno, but he's already started to drop deeper over the last couple of years. We've seen that. And then you add to that the fact that there's a world beyond Bruno Fernandes, Yeah, but that was my point, Genghis. Weeks ago, people were like, oh, it's 40 million. We'll get him for 50. We'll get him for 50 total. And I remember saying at the time, like, guys, this is nuts, And it was like, oh, you're negative. We're going to get him. It's going to be done easy and early. Why are we paying 35 for Ederson when we could get Mateus for 50? Crazy overpay. When we were discussing Ederson, one of the arguments people kept making is that we could get someone like Mateus for 50 million. So why would you pay 35 for Ederson? And I was like, you're dreaming. You're living in a fantasy world, because it was always going to be very expensive. My feeling is that United will go in with a 55 plus add-ons offer and try to get it done. But, people were living in dreamland, and I'm trying to live in the real world and inform in the real world. And I'm sorry if it comes across a little bit overly negative sometimes these days. It's not negative because I'm a positive person and my takes are still positive. It's just that, I think I'm being a little more realistic as to, what is happening on the deals. Why is mine not started here? What's going on? Has your guys' kicked off on anybody's screens? I might need to switch streams. Yeah, I think 55 plus add-ons get rejected at this point, but it kind of depends. Has it kicked off for anybody else yet? No? Okay. Just making sure I'm not behind. Okay, all right. Just making sure. I'll have my timer going and whatnot just so we can hang with it, but... Game delayed due to commercial break. Yeah, that's fair. At least you're not on a big channel pretending like the Mayans have predicted an impending apocalypse on a daily basis. That's true. That's true. That's true. You're watching on Peacock and you want yeah. Lineup shot of the VAR team. All right, that one's ahead. Let me try my TV. Buati, it's exciting to see Buati. Good player. Maz starts, yeah. It's exciting to see Buati. He's a player I've got a lot of time for. Okay, my TV is behind my screen. All right, well, this is as good as it's going to get for me. Fair enough. They're all getting ready. They're huddling up. What's up, Fruit? How you doing, man? No Cunha. I know. Ancelotti might be washed, man. Ancelotti might be washed. Quick. Are you worried Scott gets snatched by? Yeah, I do think it's quite possible for Scott to go somewhere else in the mid-time. Yeah, mine's about to kick off. Like a few seconds here. 2, 1. There we go. All right, we'll kick off. Yep, we're good. They've done this kickoff into the corner thing. All right, sorry. It's all working. Copying PSG tactics, yeah. I'm just a few seconds behind you guys. Na, 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 na. There we go. All right. We need a 6 though. Maybe. I'm a minute behind. Well, there is stream delay. Just so you guys are aware. Based on when you typed in the chat that kickoff, I was within about 2 or 3 seconds. There is a fairly significant amount of stream delay between me and you guys, so don't worry about it too much. You can try to align it if you want. It's totally up to you. I'm not going to take it too seriously because it's hard to get everybody on the same page, but there is a fairly significant amount of delay. When the first of you were typing kickoff, I was only about 3 or 4 seconds behind that on my side. Who will be the main deep line playmaker? I don't know. Hobby and Mateus. There's some good stuff there. Now let's watch Casemiro on the big stage. See if how Brazil have to play. Mazraoui. He didn't go out. Huh. Yeah, I'm the same time in. First world problem, yeah. But man, that USA game last night was crazy. And for those of you sitting here like, oh, it's just Paraguay, it's just Paraguay. I watched England fans big up their friendly performance against Costa Rica a few days ago about how it was coming home because they scored a couple goals against Costa Rica in a friendly, okay? And secondly, Paraguay, if you actually watch CONMEBOL and the World Cup qualifiers, they beat Brazil, they beat Uruguay, they drew with Brazil, they beat Argentina or drew. They were good they were actually really tough in the qualifiers for the World Cup. They had a lot of wins. They had the same number of wins. I think Brazil only won one more game in all the World Cup qualifiers than Paraguay. Okay. And they're a tough team to beat. They generally play this deep block that's very hard to break down and hit teams on the counter with some of their pacey forwards. USA ran through them, knifed through butter, like easy stuff, okay? Nobody has beaten them like that at all. Like, they're not a good team. Obviously, they're not favorites, but they are a team that knows how to make it difficult. And they've done really well against some of the bigger South American teams in the qualifiers. The USA game against them was better than anybody has played them in a long time. Yeah, it's been a while since they've lost. USA was killing them. Nice, Mazraoui. Ooh, Morocco are doing quite well here. Paraguay was paid. It's coming home. Football, home, America. We did so well, Donald Trump was saying we have to change American football's name to something else because now this is football. That's how good we were, okay? Like I said, hope is a dangerous thing. Hope is an absolutely dangerous thing after that game. But you got to bear something in mind. We scored 4 goals yesterday, and it was fantastic football. Not only was it 4 goals, but if you watch the game, like, it's one of the best coached, best drilled, best structured teams I have seen in international football. You don't usually see that. Morocco shot in. But secondly, we scored 3 goals all last World Cup. We got 4 in one game. Balogun looks amazing, yeah. Good player. Balogun is impressive. Very impressive. But there's some really... I was surprised when I looked at the U.S. lineup. I was very surprised at just how many Ooh, Mazraoui in. Oh, shot! Oh my God, deflecting all over the place. Morocco nearly score there. My God. They're killing Brazil right now. Brazil look trash. I wonder why. When they have such a good midfielder. I wonder why they can't control games. Mazraoui is flying here. Morocco looked great. This is what USA looked like last night with the sustained pressure and stuff. I love seeing teams play like this. Oh, Hakimi. Has there been a setback with Mateus Fernandes? Just describing it. Just describing the reality of the situation, which is that the change in ownership for West Ham relieves some of their financial pressure. And I'm not being more dramatic than that. That's all. That's all. It is. I'm not being more dramatic than that. It just relieves some of the financial pressure, and it's just going to mean we're going to have to pay what they want at the end of the day, or it's more likely. You think Brazil will be a disappointment? It's hard to say with Brazil. It's really tough to say with Brazil. I had Morocco going pretty far, though, myself, because I think Morocco are really good. They're definitely dark horses. Hey, Stuart, what's going on? Casemiro. No place for nuance. Best ever. That's where we're at. That's where we're at, huh? Yeah, that's okay. Morocco, yeah, Morocco are really, really, really good. Morocco also lost. Yeah, true. They did lose a couple of good players as well. Look at Bouadi. Bouadi, I really want to keep an eye on because he's available for 60 million this summer. He looks good. Look at him go. Nice. Ooh, nice move from Bouadi there. Okay. Shot. Ooh, blocked. It's still bouncing? Oof. Gabriel goes down with a dive. Buati, nice run from Buati there. We have been scouting Buati. I can tell you that. United have been looking at Buati. I'm not sure they're willing to pay right now for him, but they have been. Great dive from Gabriel to act like he's been killed there. What was the Fernandes update? Pretty simple. There has been a change in ownership at West Ham in terms of the biggest owner. Their new owner has promised funding for the club. If that happens, which I would expect isn't a lie, that he does intend to because he's done it before and he is very wealthy and has a strong interest in the club, then it will relieve some of their financial pressure. And realistically, it just means, we're going to have to pay the piper when it comes to getting Mateus out of them. It may not be simple, easy, or at a low price. And it's fine. I think we're going to get it done still. And it's just that. It's just there's likely to be a bit less financial pressure. Oh, turnover from Brazil. Paqueta. Morocco again. Still going. Good dive, Casemiro. Well done. Morocco eating them alive in the midfield. I prefer not to speak. Igor Thiago looks like a fish out of water on the big stage. I think he's a small club player too. He's one of those guys I'm going, yeah, he's been amazing for Brentford, but like, come on. Yeah. Mateus will still want to leave. He's going to leave. And I think we'll sign him. Like, I'm pretty positive we're going to sign another terrible turnover from their midfield. I'm positive we'll sign him. I'm just saying it may not be that easy. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, when you take those guys at like the Brentfords and stuff and they go on a big team, it's different when you have to play a different type of football. Bruno G is struggling. Honestly. Yeah, prepping chat for an overpay. That's my point, Lexi. Exactly that. It's like, it's not like we're not going to get him. He's our top target. He's our most serious candidate for the midfield. We'll get him, but it's not going to be cheap. Not coming cheap. It's going to make Ederson look like a bargain. Oh, nice ball from Mazraoui. Almost gets through. That's not a foul, ref. Good tackle from Buati. I'm going to be honest. Cunha and Ederson are better than what I'm seeing on the pitch right now. Cunha and Ederson. And I know that's United favoritism, but they are. You look at how Brazil can't get a hold of the ball. Those are the exact things why you want guys like Cunha in there, in that side. Someone you can get the ball to up front, who can retain it, who can hold off players, who can dribble, carry. These guys look disjointed together. Always be honest. Yeah. That's me. Another terrible turn. Oh, that's not a foul. Ref's bailing him out a little bit here. How'd you feel to get Baleba over Scott? I think Scott, I still like Baleba. And I still think Baleba could be quite good, but right now I think Scott is a more solid prospect. I think he's going to have a very, very simple trajectory, consistent. Excited to see Ederson? Me too. That's nice by Rafinha, though. Okay, Brazil in attack. Let's see, can their forwards do it? Vini, Vici. Thiago misses it. He missed it entirely. Air ball. That was nice from Vini. And Rafinha. Scott feels like a Mateus alternative. He is an alternative, but he is also a potential in addition to as we move forward. Who are y'all supporting in this game? Are you just a full neutral along for the ride? Who are you guys supporting? I should poll this actually. I'm curious if there's like a more overwhelming support for anybody in the chat here. For this game in general. Oops. I'm misspelling in the poll question. But who are you supporting? Brazil, Morocco, or a full neutral? Mostly full neutral and Morocco. Interesting, interesting. I feel like if oh no, it's evening up. For me, it's like I actually really like Morocco. But like I want to support Brazil, but I want to see my guys. You know what I mean? I want to see them play. I'd feel more supportive of Brazil right now if I was seeing Cunha on the pitch. I love Cunha. Love Cunha. So that's kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. Like I want to support Brazil, but without Cunha on the pitch, I'm not feeling the love. You know what I mean? I want to feel the love. Cunha's like my favorite player at United right now. And Morocco are kind of a cool team to watch. All right, 33% Brazil, 44% neutral, 22% Morocco. That's fair. That's fair. I want to like it's kind of how I feel. Like I do want to like Brazil. I've liked Brazil as a kid. I mean, Brazil were one of the teams that like introduced my love for the World Cup. Watching Ronaldo and Ronaldinho back in the day, like those Brazilian teams were just so wonderful to watch. It was so cool. But I'd like to see some of our guys on the pitch. Bit better from Brazil here. Casemiro in his attacking midfielder role.
Alex Scott into a Carrick-styled ALPN because of his ability to put full-weight passings into the attacking line.
You think we can mold? I think Alex Scott could be practically forever, practically whatever we want. But that is kind of to a degree what I see with him. That you could build him into that type of footballer. He's got a good skill set. He's got quite a good long pass in him, even though he's not known as like a passer. He's silky on the ball. He's got height. I think Alex Scott is I think Mateus, like I'm not saying he's better than Mateus Fernandes, but I think he could become kind of more whatever. I think Mateus, if we want to get the most out of him, he'll be probably better as we move away from Bruno to some degree. This is better from Brazil. And as we get him more involved in going forward, I think Mateus will be better and better, where Alex Scott, I think, could play like a deep line playmaker. Ronaldinho is one of your childhood heroes? Yeah. Same. One of my favorite players of all time. A little better from Brazil here. Morocco need to settle in a little bit. They're getting run over here. Scott's aesthetically pleasing on the ball. He is. Very smooth. Nice from Mazraoui. Was Mazraoui playing left back, huh? Good press from Brazil there. Rafinha. Into Vinny. Oof. Hakimi gets back. Yeah, exactly that, Luciano. I think Scott has more variety in his game at the moment, and he's a bit taller. He looks taller anyways. There's a bit more in him. João Gomes should be in this Brazil team. He should as well. Fell down in a flight of stairs. I'm sorry to hear that. Really hope we get. Yeah, I really want both because in the long term, I see a midfield of Kobe, Scott, and Mateus being one of the most beautiful potential midfields around. Crazy good work rates in there. You get, your your amazing dribbler in small spaces in Kobe, your big space dribbler, a bit more of that with Scott. And you get the passer, creator type of Mateus. It's really well balanced for a long-term three. In my opinion, and to me, that's the future. Oh, then he took too many touches. Paqueta shoot. Yeah, it makes sense. Hakimi being the right back. Yeah. Mazgon and Bumo, yeah. Yeah, missing out on Ronaldinho was such a huge bummer, man. Okay, let's see Morocco back on it. Nice pass, Mazraoui. Look to the side. Oh, he's through. 1-0, Morocco. Goal. Huge. That's crazy. What a goal. What a goal. Oh my God. What a goal. Wow. How did they go right through the middle? How did you go right through the middle? How'd you go right through the middle of Brazil? That's so crazy. Look at those huge gaps in the midfield. That's so crazy. How's that there? How did you make a pass right down the middle of Brazil's team? Huh. Crazy, man. That is some really, really good stuff. Bayern's new striker. Wow. Great finish. Great finish. Everything beautiful there. I mean, when you joke about it being Casemiro's fault, all I'm saying, yes, the striker splits it, but the pass before that, right into the middle, nobody there. Is the world finally going to wake up and recognize your defensive midfielder can't be playing at striker all the time, or this is what happens? I'm also very happy to see Gabriel get cooked. Hey, look, I'm not hate watching. I just want the world to see what I know. I just want people to see it and accept it. I just want people to understand. That's all. I'm never no, it's not because it ain't an agenda. It's facts. It's facts, man. And people are now seeing it. People are now seeing it, man. People are now seeing it. People are seeing the truth. Here's the crazy part, all right? During the friendlies before this, I was watching how a bunch of Brazilian fans on Twitter were finally seeing it, and they were going, hang on a second. It's not an agenda. It's a problem. And the thing is that when you look at it, you start to identify what's the biggest problem in these teams. And you look at the gaps that are created by that situation. No one's saying, no, but they are, man. They are. That's the thing. Maybe not here. People understand here. People know. I think people see it by now. But the problem is that people think that because I call it out a lot, it's wrong. I call it out because it's the most obviously bad thing that I see with teams. You know, and any time Casemiro's in the midfield, that's what happens, man. You have this problem, and now you're seeing it with Brazil as well, and it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not hate. How am I not talking? I have. Paqueta's been terrible as well. Paqueta's been terrible as well. Paqueta's been awful as well.
Brazil lacking legs up front and CM.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are. That's what I'm saying is like you take someone like Ederson or somebody into that position and they'll be better. But the balance of the midfield selection is wrong. Casemiro is what he is. He is what he is. And the way that they build people we made, we had to do what we had to do because we didn't have options. Brazil have options. Ancelotti has options. The way he set up this Paqueta Casemiro midfield, I don't think it's good. For me, I think it's dangerous for them, and they have options. They have other ways they can build these midfield. In my opinion, I think the way it's put together right now doesn't look very good. It's just like they could do it differently, and I think they should. They should build it differently. Carrick figured it out because it's all we had, and that's why we played the way we played. And that's cool. That's cool. And that's how we got wins. We'll see if Ancelotti can figure it out, but I'm not sure. Right now, it's that was exposed right there, that huge gap in the midfield is not a surprise right now. But we'll see if they can figure it out. But, they're playing with this 3-2-5, and I just don't think they have the legs for it. Like, U.S. played with a really, really strong 3-2-5 yesterday with Pochettino. But if you look at the movement from Adams, McKennie, and Tillman, high energy, high physicality, massive legs all over the place. They were covering every gap. And I think you need that to play this style that he's going for right now. And I think they're going to keep getting exposed in the middle. They've got some... It's not like they don't have... Look, there's never mind. Look at the midfield. Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it, dude. Look at the gaps. Look at the gaps. Look at the gaps. They're running straight in, dude. They're running straight in over and over. It ain't hate. Brazil are in trouble. Brazil are in trouble if they keep playing like this. They're in trouble. You can run 30 yards straight through Brazil's midfield with no pressure. It's just... It just is what it is, man. The donut. Casemiro turning it over again. And now look, you just run right through the middle. Again, right through the middle. Every time, right through the middle. They're in trouble. They are in trouble, man. This is not a good setup. It's a bad setup for their midfield. They're going to have to change something. When they're playing fast and energetic teams are going to run right through them. It's early. I mean, look, it's one game and it's only 27 minutes in, but I'm worried for Brazil like this. Especially without someone like Cunha on the pitch, because you get someone like Cunha on the pitch and you can have him hold the ball up and keep it, and that kind of helps to cover for some of your midfield flaws, because you've got wingers who hold the ball. Cunha's a hold the ball type of player, and that can cover some of the gaps. He also gets back and works really hard. But if you have some lazy forwards and that, when your wingers, again, that's why I'm talking about Cunha. Cunha for me is the biggest miss if you're going to play this way. He gets back, he defends well, he holds the ball, he does a whole lot of stuff that would help cover for some of the problems that you've got here. I think that they're going to have to figure out how to make some changes here. Kabi was covering for Casemiro. He was. He actually was. And he grew a lot in that role as the season went on. Ooh. Oh, free header for Morocco. Where play Vinny if bring on Cunha? Bring Cunha on a striker or something. I don't know. Oh, Morocco in! They've almost scored again. Oh, they still have it. Oh, Morocco should be scoring here. Morocco should be scoring more goals here. Another turnover from the midfield, man. This Paqueta, Casemiro, Bruno G midfield is terrible. It's awful at the moment. Paqueta looks like trash, man. This guy's horrible. There you go again. Just outworked. Hakimi in the midfield, just outworking them. There it goes, right through Casemiro's legs. Oh, their midfield is so dead, dude. This is bad. This is bad for Brazil. This is bad for Brazil, man. Oh, and they get beat to a second ball again. Oh, my God. Crazy, man. Brazil need to make some changes, dude. I want to see them actually play well. Come on. Come on. All right, let's see if the forwards. Goal, come on. Vinny? Vinny? Oh, what a goal, Vinny. What a goal, Vinny. There we go. There you go. Vinny. Great goal. Now we got a game. Oof. You're going to have to rely on that. You're going to have to rely on that, and that's fair. Great goal. That's what you got. That's what you got. Great finish. You want a winger like that? Great goal, man. Great goal. And that's the fun of this. This is why Brazil can be dangerous. Their midfield can be absolutely 1 out of 10. But guys like Vinny can just score out of nothing, man. He don't get it twisted. That guy is very, very good. Hakimi walking back. Yeah. This is the fun. This is why I want to see Brazil play well, because they have forwards who are dangerous. Cunha's close to that. But yeah, Rafinha and Vinny are very, very, very good. Very good. They're definitely, on quality, the forwards have more than Morocco. Oh, here you go. Midfield's open again. Come on. Let's see what Morocco do. They're still all over them. This is going to be a game. I think we've got a really competitive game here. Yeah, Mazraoui's been great at left back. I think that if Brazil could change up the midfield a little bit, they can be more serious in this game. Morocco's press and second balls and all of that are just significantly better at the moment. The quality in the forwards isn't there for Morocco. They've passed up quite a few good chances that they should have probably scored, but their press, out of possession work, winning the ball quickly, and all of that has been way better. If you could take 3 players from these two teams to have at United, who would you go for? Hakimi? Ooh, that's a tough question. It's a good question. Ross? Hakimi? Oh! Allison's got it. Damn. Let me think about that. That's a tough question. In terms of who's on the pitch right now, Rafinha, Hakimi. Hakimi, Rafinha. I'm probably, but Vinny, but I think I'd take, I don't know. Vinny or Rafinha, I'm not sure which at this point. But I probably say Rafinha. Brahim Diaz is a good call. Gabriel, hell no. Hell no. The thing I'll say about Rafinha is I think he has a better out of possession work rate for me than Vinny, and I would only pick one because you don't need both for United. I think Rafinha does a bit more out of possession. So, Brahim Diaz or Buadi, Rafinha, and Hakimi for me. That would be my pick. Somewhere around that. Somewhere around that mixture of players. Somewhere around there. I'm a big fan of Rafinha, and I think he's got a more solid work rate overall for a team. I think he'd be more helpful for us the way we want to play personally. And it's not like trying to call Vinny, it's just I'm not a huge fan of the out of possession work from Vinny and most of those Madrid players, to be honest. So it does bother me. Wadi, nice. Mazraoui 3 times. I'm glad we have him. He looks like one of the best players on the pitch. Ooh, that's a yellow. Casemiro. To be fair to Casemiro there, I think that mostly comes from Gabriel first getting caught up the pitch poorly. I would say Gabriel actually made the first error there, leading to that as well. Gabriel did terribly on there. He committed a foul before that. Like you forget. You like it until they say we don't need Hall, because we have Mazraoui. Yes. Oh, Vinny's done well there. Vinny's done very well there. You heard me talk about his out of possession work. Defended really well. Was the Fernandes setback just hopped on? It's not a big deal. It's just a statement that the ownership change that has just occurred with West Ham and the new owner putting money in will make it so their financial pressures are a bit alleviated, and that might make it a bit harder. Overall, doesn't mean he's not going to be sold. Doesn't mean we won't get him. I'm not saying any of that. It's just that. The Unk getting hooked to halftime refs. With the yellow for him gives us a good chance of seeing Ederson. If he looks in danger, we've got a better chance of seeing Ederson today. Dangerous from Mazraoui there. Oh, Paqueta is so trash, dude. Very nice from Buwadi, though. Well, very nice from Buwadi. Very good control from Buwadi. This guy's good. This kid's good. Oh, Buwadi. Oh, he's missed the pass, though. Really well there, though. Really well out of the pressure there. Impressed with Buwadi. Very, very impressed.
I kinda wanna see what Edison has
Yeah, me
got.
too. Me too. I really want to see him on the pitch. You know, since we've agreed a deal to him, it's been we haven't gotten to see that yet. Oof, big slide. Yeah, Buwadi does look good. He belongs for sure. Very technical, very in control. Maz has Rafinha in his pocket. Ooh, that's nice. All right, who's this guy? At least Brazil can bring on the legs and power of Fabinho. First time over the top ball from Casemiro. Keeper. Not his worst pass, to be fair. Maz has that side on lock. He does. He's done great so far. Igor Thiago looks very poor. Very poor for me. He looks like doesn't fit into this team. Vinny again. Hakimi stops him this time. Mamdani. My mayor Muslim. My president orange. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say here. Is he the new America's mayor? Is he going to take the title from I mean, good lord. I mean, Giuliani was called America's mayor for a long time. Can it be Mamdani instead? I would prefer that. Can he be America's mayor? Midfield again from Morocco here. Kind of a weird turn out of who is that? Oh, you nearly made a huge mistake there. Oh, but he's got through and the midfield is dead. Morocco running again. Already is? Yeah. Would be nice, huh? What in earth are Brazil? What does Paqueta do, man? Besides, well, he gets a dive there. Good for him. He already is, yeah. Good game. Good game. This is a good game. This could go either way. This is a good game. This is the most competitive game of the World Cup so far, I think. I mean, yeah, it's a good game. Brazil, we literally only have good attackers. Yeah. If Morocco had the forwards that they have, I think they'd be flying away from this game right now. But oh, that's a dive. Mazraoui, good tackle. Mazraoui's not letting him go. Stay on him, Maz. Nice. Buwadi. Oof. Dangerous. Oh, he's turned it over. No, they've got it back. Ow. Yellow. Oh, another yellow. You prefer Scott and Fernandes over Buwadi? Yeah, yeah. I've liked the look of what I've seen from Buwadi. He's a potential player. A potential player. But I would still prefer the Prem guys right now, just from the consistency standpoint of knowing what we're getting a little bit more. But Buwadi looks a talent, and he's taken a lot of responsibility in this game, and you know, he's been a part of it. That looked like a foul from Thiago there. Bit weird that they let that one go. Man, Bruno G looks slow. He's slower than Casemiro. He might be. Oh, another turnover. Morocco have this odd tendency to turn a little bit into pressure. It's a bit strange. Like they are over dribbling a bit. You guys see that too? For me, it's one of the things I've noticed about them that bothers me a bit is that they it feels like they over dribble it when they pick up the loose balls. They're often like turning backwards and then turning outside and trying to run by somebody. Does anybody else see what I'm saying there? They're just a little bit over, I don't know, overplaying it. Not with like the passing, not like South Africa where they were trying to play like tiki-taka, like with terrible players, but they're just a bit too, yeah. Uwadi is big. Yeah, he's big. Did I say he was small or did someone else say he was small? I didn't mean to say he was small. Someone else typed he's small. He's not small. He's quite big. He's actually quite physically imposing. But I do value the Premier League experience for young players. Yeah, but he's quite big actually. Those legs go. All guy. There you go. Nice. Nice. Still going? Oh, good work from Morocco there. Wadi is quite clean. I'm a fan. And what I'm seeing I like a lot. What player does Buwadi remind you of? I don't know. Dreams of an Arsenal signing? He does, and they are interested. But I think they've walked away from it from the price as well. Poor pass from the keeper there. Is that Bono? Oh! Oof. PSG like him too, yeah. Shinned that one, did Paqueta. I think that was gonna hit the post. Danger though. Danger. Cunha scores that? Yeah. Oi! Marquinhos flick. Bono is Irish? No, he's Moroccan. He's in goal right now. No, I like Buwadi too. He's a name I would not be mad about us signing, that's for sure. Hello? Oh. All right, let's see Morocco pressing. Vinny. Whenever Brazil get it to the forwards, it's like magic can happen. A good tackle, to be fair. Good tackle from Hakimi. Oh, he gets taken out. I don't think he is going to PSG. Like, it was believed he would, but then they haven't yet followed up on any sort of deal for him. Arsenal have followed up on it a bit. Not sure who else. Yeah. Bawadi will be worth a lot of money if Morocco have a good run with him in there. They're already asking for 60 mil or something like that. Yeah, they'll get good money for him. Okay, half time. Nice. That was a good game. Good game so far. What do you guys think? Wrong button like 3. Solid, yeah. You think Buati's quite similar to Rice? Could be. United just signed Sabari. He's going to Bayern already, isn't he? You get Joe Hart. Ours are not much better. I can't know. I don't remember the name of the American guy, but I just I'm not a huge fan. Brazil similar to United, dangerous forwards but limited. Yeah, by the midfield. Yep. Yeah, we're definitely moving away from the explicit anchor type of 6 player for sure. I mean, Carrick's never really played that way, as far as I know, as far as a coach for a long time. You're watching the games in Peacock and all your games are in Spanish. What happens to Rashford? Looks like Barca aren't interested anymore. I mean, they are, but they want a cheap loan. And then there's, I think Fabrizio said something about Bayern today that they had a little bit of interest, but not really looking at him. I don't know. I still look to Aston Villa or somebody like that, or Spurs or something to come in for him. It's quite possible. Am I back into Spurs or Knicks? I mean, I wanted to see I wanted to see Wemby kind of do something crazy, but I'm enjoying the chaos of seeing the Knicks, like the passion and it's been cool. I've been like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like I've been very 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 happy for Knicks fans that I know and all of that to be on the verge of winning a title. And I find and I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of fun that's come out of the Knicks being where they are. Chaos, but embrace the chaos a little bit. And I'm so neutral on it personally from a team perspective that I'm right now. I think it's gonna be cool to see the Knicks win the championship. I think it's gonna be cool, and I think that it's fun to see what's going on with them winning and the fan base and all that. I think it's crazy. So Knicks, I'll be happy to see the Knicks win the championship. And no, I'm not gonna stay live for it. I'm done after this and hang out with the family and all that. Yeah, Ruben Amorim going to AC Milan. I've seen people say it's a bad fit because they're a club that's in a bad state, but I think it's quite the opposite. I think that's kind of where he thrives. That's what he did at Sporting, was take over a club that was in turmoil. If he gets a lot of control I think he'll do quite well there. I think the Italian league is not a bad place for him as well, stylistically. Yeah. I think it reduces the speed of it being a bit slower. I think reduces some of the flaws in the way that he plays. You know, in transitions, there's not as many teams that'll hit you in transition, which is certainly one of the flaws that we had with him, was conceding goals in transition and such. And I think he'll do quite well there, honestly. I think it's actually quite a good fit for him, a good job for him. Of course, in Italy, a 3 at the back situation is no problem. That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of problems that he won't have there. For sure. Does it reduce the payout we owe him? It was already on the books as if we paid it, but I have to look at it again, because in theory it should reduce the payout, because there was one more year we would have had to pay. To be clear, Luciano, one of the things I look, I'm a factual person. He did not get rid of Mateus Fernandes. In fact, he did not want to sell him. It's just a rumor people made up. He was not in control of it. Sporting was a selling club. Sporting is a selling club. They have financial issues. That was a player they decided to sell. And you can find, if you actually ask Sporting fans, that he did not want to sell Mateus Fernandes. I don't know who made that up in the first place and then started running with it as if it was a fact. It's not. It's not. But yeah, obviously on Menu, yeah. Yeah, it's just what they do. Like, they just sell players. It really had nothing to do with him in that respect. It's hilarious how Ancelotti's Brazil is literally bar for bar's Madrid team. Looks so badly set up and then unbelievable individual quality out of nowhere. The whole flow changes. I mean, that's been Brazil for a while, to be fair. That's been Brazil for a while. Does that mean AC Milan will have to pay out his year? No, what happens is usually with like gardening leave or when you're sacking a manager, you owe the full life of their contract, but you pay it over the course of that contract. However, if they take a new job, then those payments stop. So essentially, if he takes a new job, it could save United money. It depends if they had to pay it all as a lump sum or how they're let off, how they're sacked, how they're put out. It depends in which way that it is, but it can reduce the compensation if they take a new job.
Boss, apologies, I missed your answer on what you think our window will be this summer. Who you backing?
I'm going for, again, Mateus, Scott, Hall, Mateta. Let's just say it's that. There probably could be another player in there, but that's what I'm gonna go for now, and say that that's what I could see happening. It's gonna be Welbeck. No, I don't think it will. I really don't. I really don't think it'll be Welbeck. Lukeba. Lukeba would be great. I just don't know if we're prepared to spend that kind of money at center back right now. I think that's what's going to hold us back, but what outs do I see? Xerxes, Ugarte, Onana. The expected ones, really. I don't think there's going to be many surprises there, honestly. I don't see a lot of surprises. You think we'll get an out of the blue Lamens type signing? I think somebody like that is seriously possible for a different position. Mount. I don't think Mount is sellable. Wages, injury issues, all that. I just think there's no way to actually sell Mason Mount, even if you were like dead set on it. You know what I mean? When can we sign a doubt? Next year, we're going to sign more defenders. That's for sure. We will get defenders, but it is going to be next year. It's just not now. Next year is going to be where we finish the team, in my opinion. I'd love to see it now. Did you see? Yeah, I saw Cobby and Euro saying Dorgu is their one to watch. Yeah, me too. And I, you know, it's not training, but preseason, right? Like preseason is kind of a similar thing to like training. And Patrick Dorgu in preseason last year was just crazy good. He was so good, and you could see the technical qualities on display there. You could see that there's somebody that, you know, works really hard, you know, knows how to, you know, is working on his game, is improving, is growing, is doing all of that. And it took a bit of the season for him to settle in, and then he got really got going again. And so it's not particularly a surprise in that respect, but yeah. It's good to see. You know, he's obviously a guy who works really hard, who's got crazy good traits, and it's just getting those onto the pitch, you know, and seeing them consistently at game speed. But he's become so effective. It's kind of wild to see just how effective Patrick Dorgu is as a player. Where like how many goals he's scoring these days and what he's accomplishing these days, while like not being so good, you know, it's still just so impressive, honestly. Yeah, getting a summer off for sure, especially because he had his little hamstring thing and all of that. So it's good to see he's, you know, get some time. Fabinho on? Oh my god. For who? For who? No, Ederson. Fabinho, man. Kind of striker. I know this is gonna sound like recency bias, but the best example I can give right now, because it's top of mind, is Balogun. If we were to get another striker who gives us something different to Šeško, like Balogun as a prototype of player, you know, that kind of maybe not so huge but quicker, more like Leith type of striker profile, you know, like an Aguero, this type of player. I would like to see that kind of profile in it, so we have something a little different to Šeško into the team. Obviously, Balogun is on top of my brain at the moment, but I have liked Balogun quite a long time. But that type of striker I'd like to have as a backup, not necessarily a slow, you know, traditional big striker, but I'd really like to see that type of player who can, you know, because our front three plays very fluid and moves a lot. I'd like to see that. Let me do something really quick. So who's... I'm sorry, dude. I have this. I tell you I have a problem, which is that my favorite strikers, some of my favorite strikers to watch of the last 15 years are probably two of the most hated strikers. Two of the most hated strikers for United fans. And that's Aguero and Luis Suarez. I think they are two of the best strikers I've ever seen in football, just stylistically, the way that they play, their skill sets, all of that. I hate how much I like them. You know what I mean? I hate I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can't help it. But they have been just incredible to watch for me over their careers. Casemiro is off. Casemiro off for Ibanez. No, Casemiro and Ibanez off. Danilo and Fabinho on. What? Danilo and Fabinho? Danilo and Fabinho? I love Cavani. I love Cavani. Don't get me wrong. I love Cavani. But Suarez is one of the... he gets left off a lot of lists, but I think he was in contention for the best striker of his era. He's had some of the craziest, most insane seasons I've ever seen. And Aguero is incredible too. Danilo and Fabinho, I'm going to tweet. But Casemiro off, eh? Stinker and hooked for someone. One more year. Still, I don't know what Ancelotti is doing here. Yeah, those are the yellow, yeah. Your favorite striker to watch was Ibra? I mean, there's obviously some amazing strikers. It's just Suarez and Aguero were able to just do amazing things. The James, see, and it's like, look, I told you, you get it away from United, people will see the Casemiro problem. Oh, the clock. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yeah. You get Casemiro away from United, and the world is going to see. The world is going to see the reality of it. You know, I'm tired of being told that I don't know football because I didn't think Casemiro has been very good anymore. I'm tired of it. Carrick did what he had to do. He did what he had to do, and it's totally understandable. That's why I have hope that it's not what we're going to do in the future. Because imagine trying to play like a proactive football. Eric did an amazing job, man. No doubt about it. Don't know if the world will see much in the MLS. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, oh, people are like, oh, all we've got is Ederson. Cool. We've got a better team already. Today, we have a better team than when we ended the season. Facts. And it's going to get even better the next person we sign and the next person we sign. Obviously, it's not enough. I'm just saying. It's just what it is. Hated Drogba. That man was a beast. Yeah. This a red? That could be red, you know. VAR? VAR? Hello? That's high. How's he gotten away with that? You would have thought he might have had a bet on a yellow. Kenta just trying to make his family some money. You should smirk if you're pointing out the exact failings. And it's not just that I've been pointing them out. It's the amount of people having a go at me about it for the last months and talking about how I don't understand. I don't understand. You don't understand. Yes, I do, man. Yes, I do. And then using it to be super negative about signings we're going to make, like Ederson. You know? Good job by Mazraoui there. Good press. Oh, he's still going. Cooking. Noose is cooking. Wadi. Yeah, Roberto agreed. You know, it's hard for me to explain what bothers me. Ooh, Hakimi almost gets through. Good tackle. One of the things that bothers me is I felt like so many people were being so fake about it just because it was like such like a top red thing to be like, oh, I love Casemiro. Look how much great a fan I am. Look at how great a fan I am. I'm going to miss Casemiro so much. All right, man. Okay. It just felt like a populist thing that just found so much momentum that just didn't seem based in reality to me, but I felt like people weren't being honest with their takes about him. That's all. It bothered me a lot. Man, Rafinha is getting cooked by Mazraoui here. Mazraoui's having an amazing game. Well done. If England face Brazil in quarterfinals, any team with a good midfield is going to run over this Brazil midfield for sure. Casemiro or no Casemiro, because there's a whole bunch. Their midfield's just, it doesn't look good in any capacity. I think they need to get Cunha on as well. Yeah, I would agree. Oof, Thiago in. Quick throw in from a weird spot there. That was strange. Barely even saw it. Fooled the camera. Mazraoui plays like this for United. Start him over Dallo. Adams and Tillman run through them. Yeah. Great cross, Rafinha, though. Brazil getting a bit of momentum. I'm very impressed with Mazraoui, man. Where has this guy been? Brazil's forwards are starting to move here a little. Ooh. Mars turns it over. Hakimi makes a mistake to Vinny, and then he fouls him. Oh, mistake from Brazil there. Mazraoui's been better than Hakimi today. Fabinho still escaping yellow cards somehow, magically. Irish TV saying how much more cohesive the midfield is since Casemiro came off. No more. Not allowed to celebrate it. Not allowed to celebrate it. Fabinho started. He's actually done a decent job so far, and he's so good at those tactical fouls. Big switch, Hakimi over to Maz. Oh, nicely done by Mazraoui. Here he goes. Oh, that was a poor pass from Elkanous there. Very, very poor. Morocco still have it for now, sort of. No, Brazil are on it. That was really poor from Elkanous there. I don't know what he was trying to do. Looked like a good tackle for me, but Fabinho just doesn't go forward at all. I mean, you can see it that way, Callum, if you want, but there's been players that have been far better for United that got loads of hate from the fan base, and I'll just never understand that. There's been players who loved the club, who gave their all every game, didn't take plays off, worked their ass off, and got dog's abuse for it. So for me, it feels fake, and I'm just not a big fan of it. That's all. I just don't get it in the same way that people do with him. There's players that I think have gotten huge amounts of, you know, they never got a the way they've been treated is very different at United. Fred, McTominay, Rashford. There's a lot of players there. Rashford at the end, nobody. Well before things went really bad, he got massive amounts of abuse from people. He was getting abused on a daily basis. Pogba was getting huge abuse in the ground. It's part of why things went bad with him. You know? Dalo's better than Casemiro. Half the fan base thinks he's complete shit. Just don't let, you know what I mean? But like, it is a lot of guys, a lot of examples. I would take any one of those guys over Casemiro. I would take any one of them over Casemiro. But they got huge amounts of hate from the fan base. Huge amounts of abuse from the fan base. And, you know, and it's just strange. And none of them, for a long time, for most of them, you couldn't fault their effort. For Pogba at the end, of course, but he was getting, you know, fans screaming at him, yelling at him in the stadium before things went bad, you know? And that was part of what soured everything. And a lot of it, yeah, like I said, a lot of it was for bullshit reasons. And no, look, I get people individually. I understand. I would never question why, you know, individually people have different opinions on players. You know what I mean? I totally get it. From an individual standpoint, people totally have the right for their individual decisions and all that. But like Fred and Scott were both significantly better than Casemiro for this team. They anchored a team finishing multiple times in the top four, reaching a Europa final, all kinds of stuff, you know? and they were called crap, and people couldn't wait to get rid of them. Harry Maguire, man. Harry Maguire was horrifically abused by this fan base. And for what? For what, man? It never made any sense. For what, you know? It's the best example of all, really. And so for me, it just doesn't, some of it just doesn't make any sense, you know? It's like, it was always like, no, we don't abuse them. We don't hate these X player. We don't hate Y player. They're just not good enough. You know, but with Casemiro, he can be utter crap, and fans love him. But with so many players otherwise who were never that bad, they got horrifically treated. And for many of them, there was never a doubt about their effort, their commitment, or anything like that. They were on way less wages, stuff like that. You know, I think it's just, to me, it's just populist. It's like Casemiro won a ton of trophies, and he's one of the greatest players of all time. He is, 100%, had an amazing career, incredible player over the course of his career. One of my favorites. I bought his jersey when he joined. I loved watching him at Madrid. You know what I mean? And I think because of that, like, people are applying that to present Casemiro. And it's like, well, he can't be bad because he's won all of this. Well, okay, there's just different people. You know what I mean? Casemiro at Madrid is, a legend. Casemiro at United was one in the worst midfield for 2 years that we've had for 20 years, So, Brazil almost through there. And it's just, there's been players who've been better that got so much worse treatment. And it was never a question of commitment, but they never won anything as players before that. Fred didn't have a career of trophies to fall back on and say he's a legend of the game. Scott didn't have a career of trophies to fall back and say he was a legend of the game. Maguire didn't have that. You know what I mean? So I think that's really what factored into it. It's easy to praise a guy who's won 5 Champions League. Cunha coming on. Cunha, finally. Now it's a game. Now I'm excited. Now I'm a Brazil fan. Cunha winner. Here we go. Yeah, I was sitting forward. I'm locked in now. Now I'm locked in. Who's Luis Enrique? I don't know. I was going to ask. I don't know who that is. Who's Luis Enrique? Where's Cunha playing? Like, is he a striker? He's a striker, essentially. Or maybe he's at like the 10 and Rafinha will alternate a little there. Morocco struggling a little here. They plays for Zenit. Huh. They have one more sub. Hopefully we get to see Ederson. But Morocco have made no subs yet. They look like they're struggling a little bit with energy. He plays for Inter Milan. Oh, okay. Winger plays over. Is he Inter or is he Zenit? João Pedro not taken? Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of... João Pedro is definitely good. Can we please get Buwadi? What are the chances? We've scouted him. I just don't think we're prepared to move for him right now. Buwadi has me so convinced. He's the first time I watched him. Fabinho face bleeding. Wow, there's mouth bleeding. Buati's been great. I think he's looked really good. Donate 15 and I'll make it happen. Okay, subs are coming for Morocco finally. Did you guys see the tweet from Simon Stone? If you haven't seen it, go take a look. Not just me being snarky. If you haven't, go take a look at the tweet from Simon Stone. Seen it? It's not just me. Okay. I mean, look at the comments, man. The comments are crazy, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, the second half has been silly. Stop Tart. Yeah, and then they're going to do a water break in a few minutes. Cunha? 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 He said that United probably glad they didn't give Casemiro one more year based on this evidence. I mean, the crazy part is you look at the comments below it and it's tons of people ripping him apart about how good Casemiro is, man. I'm telling you, I just don't understand what people are looking at. That's what I'm saying. I just don't get it. Oh, Brazil doing well here. Terrible cross, Danilo. The comments are crazy, man. It's like, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. Is the U.S. that much hotter? No, not in general. It's not that bad. It's not that bad right now. It's a little hot in New York at the moment, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Oof. Almost for Brazil. Here, I'll pull it up on screen, actually. You guys can take a look at it. I don't think it'll mess up any of my... I don't accidentally show... 103 where you are, but you're in... See? Probably glad. And then it's like, look at the comments, man. Second best player of the season. Disrespectful. Great mistake. There's good comments, but man, there's a lot of ones that are like, like, look at people. Oh, man. People are living in absolute denial. Just denial of the real world, man. It's so weird. Yeah, the hydration break is 100% just an excuse for more money. There's no doubt about it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, it's not that bad right now, to be honest. Like for where they're playing games, it's actually not that bad right now, which is not bad. Keenan James, Casemiro is not a United legend. I think it's an absolute that is what drives me nuts. There is no world where Casemiro is a United legend. Please, man. It's crazy to mention Casemiro anywhere near that sentence or that word, legend. Come on. Bruno is probably the only player who qualifies in our team post Fergie. Bruno's probably the only player who comes close. You know what I mean? I know you're joking, but like people have said stuff like that seriously, like, and I'm just like, all right, what the hell are we talking about? Casemiro is a football legend, and he is a legend for Madrid. But man, he's not. He's. No, we should move on. I'm done. People are seeing it, but I'm not sure people are seeing it on Twitter yet. But the Brazil fans are seeing it. But still, we will move on. Look, he's not even on the pitch anymore. Let's see what Cunha can do. Let's see if Brazil can pull this one together. No, the hydration breaks are new, from what I understand. But Qatar was in winter, right? Not that it wasn't still warm, but. You think I was like this with Shaw and Rashford most of the times? I don't think that's true. The thing with Shaw, the thing with all of them is that I was happy for Rashford to move on, and I've said it's the right call. For Shaw, I want a replacement for him. It's the same goes for Maguire. Like, I'm supportive of Maguire. I like Maguire.
Casemiro needed the hydration breaks.
I like Maguire, but I also know how flawed he is, and I want a center back. And that's all it is for me, is just like, I like him, but I know that they're flawed players. I've called out Shaw so many times this season, while praising the things he's been good at, but I call him out. And that's what I try to be, is players that I like, I balanced about them. I will 100% criticize and say, you know, what they're not doing so well at. Oh, corner for Morocco. Great job there. Like, even if I really, us offsides, even if I really like a player, I will 100% call out their flaws if they have them. That was nice from Mazraoui. All right, 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Let's see it. Let's see if Cunha can pull something off here for Brazil. Help them get the win here. Then he gave up on that one. Whoa. Jeez. Brazil, like, nearly just gave up on it here. Mazraoui's a good footballer. Like, if I look at this performance from left back, it's a good performance as a footballer. It's kind of a strange thing to talk about. Like, he's played really well today, but like, as a footballer, he's played very well today. As a left back, he's not really doing a lot of left back things. And I think that, yeah, he's obviously not the answer at left back. You know, it's good to have depth, and a player like Mazraoui is a utility player who can play all over the pitch. But in terms of like that guy pushing up, overlapping, things like that consistently, like I saw, you know, not saying we should sign Anthony Robinson, but like what he was doing for the US that's what we need at left back. Someone who does that, gets up and down the pitch on that left wide side and everything. Oh goodness. I show Speed and his crew with the Brazil legends. Oh, nicely done by Buati. So clever.
We're almost 300. Smash that like button.
Thank you, Pedro. Appreciate it, my friend. Indeed, thank you. Please do smash the like button. Oh, no, he recognized it. He's wearing a Madrid jersey. I don't know if it was Ronaldo's. Guy's everywhere. He really is absolutely everywhere. It's crazy.
You going to watch NBA Finals, James?
Yes. Not live on here, but I will. What is an iShow Speed? It's a modern celebrity, man. Modern celebrities. A different world we live in. He's incredibly popular. I mean, he is unbelievably popular. So, with the Generation Z. It's crazy. You know nothing about him except WWE. It's just streamers, man. Streamers these days. Content streamers. We just see him everywhere, but that's his thing now. That's his thing, is being everywhere and filming all of it, and people watch it. You know? That's it. That's modern media. Oof, Vinny with a weird turnover there. Morocco feel like they've dropped off quite a lot here going forward. I'm a streamer. I mean, in a sense, but it's a bit different. There's a lot of guys who, you know, it's like I guess what I would put it is they're like life streamers, you know? They start on Twitch and these places, and, you know, they're streaming 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Everything that they're doing, you know what I mean? Games, playing games, you know, out in life, out in the world. Like, it's a little different. I do a show, I do a news, you know, I do I cover a specific topic, you know, with a daily thing that's on something. These guys, they do it all. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Crazy life. More just like entertainers than anything else, right? At this point. Ooh. 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 Cross in. Oh, nobody there. Oh my God. Come on, Morocco. A hot tub Muppeteer show. I appreciate that, Britannic. I appreciate that. That was good from Sabari. I feel like this is fizzling just a little, but Morocco, or it's anything could happen in a moment. All right, Cunha. Ooh. Cunha into Vinny. What a pass. Vinny, cut back. Rafinha. Ooh. Close. Close. What a ball by Cunha. What a ball by Cunha. Game changer. What a pass. Cunha unlocking the doors here. You'd want to see a better finish from Rafinha there for sure. Another change from Morocco coming. When you should have started. He should be starting in place of Thiago next time. There's another game tonight, by the way. 2 more games tonight. Good God. Oh, Australia, Turkey, the other USA group, is late tonight. My God. Scotland in a few hours. Wow, there's a lot of games. Probably watch the Australia-Turkey game on my phone. Mazraoui off. Mazraoui off. Should have taken Anthony. So Mazraoui and El Kanous off for Salah Adin and Amumani. Amamuni. I can't pronounce that one. Thiago or Paqueta. Yeah. You couldn't move Rafinha up and put him for Paqueta. No Ederson, Danilo Santos. I mean, look, Ederson was the 26th selection, so I'm not surprised, but I don't know. I think Ancelotti's making some strange choices for me. I don't know some of these players. I know Ederson's better than some of them, a lot of them. But it's very political, the selections in Brazil. I mean, just look at the starting lineup. Tomine Sadio are not supporting. I'll root for Scotland for him. 100% I will. In that matchup, obviously. It's still good, Ederson, because he's going to stay fresh in a team environment, training, playing, stuff like that. Hopefully he doesn't learn too many bad habits from... Oof. Morocco.
I am not sold on Thiago for United, still hoping we land Mateta or a Krupi miracle.
Yeah.
Remember, Carlo is a vibes coach.
I agree. Krupi would be crazy, but I just think that's impossible this summer. Mateta, I think, would be kind of nice. Benny. Rafinha. Just don't have the players going forward here. Cunha. Oh. Earns a corner. Well done, Cunha. Let's go. Come on, Cunha. I love Cunha, man. What? They've changed it to a goal kick? Oh, it is off of him. Unlucky. Fair enough. Key takeaways, get Buati. Buati's good, but don't make... I'll tell you, the only other thing I would say is that don't sign players off of international tournaments, no matter what. Regardless of if Buati looks good, don't use this as part of your argument. Especially this Brazil midfield he's playing against. You think Mateus Fernandes has better athleticism than what we've seen from Buati? Athleticism, yes. Mateus can get around really, really well. I think Buati's a little bit more traditional in the way that he defends and breaks up play. What the heck is that mistake? Oh my God, that was nearly a horrible mistake from Morocco. Yeah, the way they overturned the corner. Did any of you guys see last night where they gave a yellow to Tim Ream for an Almiron dive, and then they changed it and gave the yellow to Almiron for a dive and took it away from Tim Ream? It was poorly executed because it was after the play had already restarted, but it was good to see them getting the right call at the end of it and being able to make a change like that, especially because yellows can be so significant in tournaments like this. I was happy to see that, and especially because Almiron is a diving bastard. Always has been. Very, very dislikable. face. You did not know a mistaken identity. Yeah. Yeah, Amrabat is a good example of that. Yeah. Same country, right? Oh man, I need this to finish. My dinner is ready. My dinner's sitting out there waiting for me. I need to go eat. Exhausted. Yeah, they rejected 60 million for Buwadi apparently, so Zidane. Real streamers do mukbangs. And USA beat Mike. You're sorry for saying that. That was a terrible thing to say. Terrible thing to say. Is that his son? I would assume it is, but I don't know. That's good from Buwadi. But then he turns it over on the pass. Some inexperience there. But he's a really powerful runner. Good, strong turn and powerful runner, Buwadi looks like. But definitely raw in his game. He makes a lot of errant passes and goes backwards an awful lot. Nice turn. Just, I feel like Morocco haven't had the final third quality here to actually get some really good chances. Kadioglu. We talked about him a lot when we were linked to him a few seasons ago before he signed for Brighton. Good all-around kind of utility player, but not sure he's lit things up, but he had a big injury as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, good turn. Cross in. Ooh. Not enough players attacking it. Brazil will be lucky. Yeah, they're gonna have to switch some things up. Here said the exact same thing as you at the same time regarding final third quality. I'm just a genius. What can I say? Football savant. Don't forget to like the stream. My dinner is getting cold. Yes, please. Thanks. Ugh, tired too, man. I imagine some of you are, of course. This is going later for you. It's near 1 a.m., right? Man of the match. Maybe Mazraoui. What's the best stadium in America? SoFi. The one you saw if you watched the US game last night. It's almost impossible to describe it if you haven't been there. It's so cool. Everything it's described as and more. I've never seen anything like it. It's just, it is that cool. $10 minutes, my God. Oh, I want to eat, man. I'm hungry. They did this the last World Cup. Big added time where they ooh. Rafinha. Nobody there. Oh. Yeah, the one in LA. It's so cool. It's really cool. It's so cool. The whole thing, the stadium, there was just the architecture, just the indoor outdoor feel of it. It's so cool. It's there's nothing like it. Corner. Cunha would have shot that, yeah, and he might have finished it near post up high. The added time for water breaks. Yeah, they don't stop the clock, so it's 3-minute water break. Some injuries. So you're always going to see probably a minimum of 6 or 7 minutes in the World Cup because of the water break. A stadium of that, yeah, it would be nice to end up at the stadium of that quality. I got to see this one too. West Ham, United played West Ham here last summer, so this one that's being played in right now. I've gotten to experience some of the, and I got to be at the Vegas one the year before that. So I've seen 3 of the newest, most expansively built stadiums in football here in the U.S. So this one in New York, SoFi, and Vegas. I've seen United played in all of them, and they were pretty good. Pretty good. But SoFi was levels ahead. Ooh. Oof. The one in Vegas is pretty cool, though. That one is pretty cool. It's a pretty wild stadium, but SoFi is still just better. Oh, good cross. Nobody there. Okay, Buwadi. Feels like getting robbed. It does. To be fair, I didn't spend much money. The food for the journalists was free, and people bought me drinks everywhere. So that was nice. I didn't spend any dollars in any stadium on any of my trips. Oh, that's a foul from Gabriel. That's a huge foul from Gabriel. That was dirty. He dove on him. No, it's a push in the back, and then he jumps on his head. Not even shoulder to shoulder, and then he goes on his head. Gets away with that a lot, yeah. Buwadi's been tremendous. I'm very positive on Buwadi. He's 18 years old. Still a lot to learn, but man, he's got a lot. Nobody there. Just not falling for Morocco on a lot of these crosses, like the players being in the right spot. I know, Gabriel being dirty. What's new? I mean, crazy thing to say. Decent throw. I just feel like Morocco don't have any size in the box, though, to compete defensively. Ah, he couldn't get it out. Morocco's quality is really nice here, but it's like just when it gets into the box, there's no size. There's nobody to, like, win the duel. They keep crossing, and it just doesn't get there, you know? Oh, mistake. Mistake, Gabriel. Oof. Wow, how quick they get the ref cam is pretty crazy. Ooh, yeah, right into his foot. Could be yellow. Morocco playing for a point. They need to get some guys in the box here and get a goal here. They not a good cross, man. Terrible cross. Doesn't feel like there's anything in this. I think we're going to see 1-1, but hey, crazier things have happened. I just don't see where a goal's coming from here. Dive. Just nobody's got the impetus here to push forward enough to get a goal, I feel. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Yeah, second half was definitely lower in interest than the first. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh. Holy. Damn. That shot came out of nowhere. Good save. And then a good double save there. Well done by Allison. Has to be said. Looks like it's going wide when he's on his first save, to be honest, but you don't know in that position. The second save was brilliant though. Second save was really good. Not over. One more cross. He's all the way back to the keeper. I think this is it. There it is, my friends. 1-1, Brazil, Morocco. It's been a long one. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm gonna head out right away and have dinner. I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your evening, everybody. That was fun, enjoyable, interesting game. Buwadi, very, very impressive for me. Very, very impressive. Tough matchup. Tough matchup. Fell away a bit in interest in the second half, to be honest. But yeah, it was fun. All right. Enjoy your evenings. 2 more World Cup games. New York Knicks could win their championship tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Have a good evening, everybody. Good night.